Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead Season 4 break discussion topic after the mid-season finale, of course, Too Far Gone. We're going to be talking about where will everyone go? Okay, and of course this will contain major frickin' spoilers for anyone who has not seen The Walking Dead up to present date. Of course, haven't seen Too Far Gone, haven't seen all of Season 4 and previous. Spoilers for all of that. So that being said, where do I think we're going to go for the rest of the season when it returns in February? February 9th, 2014 is the air date for episode 9. And then, of course, we'll get the second half of the season, so it should be great. I mean, you guys who've seen my reviews, you know what I think about the first half of Season 4, especially Too Far Gone. If you missed it, if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the description to my review for Too Far Gone, as well as I've started doing some predictions for what I think we'll see and this kind of stuff. And one of the most interesting things that came up, well, first of all, was baby Judith's fate. So my thoughts on that in another video. You can check the channel if you want to see it if you missed it. So I did that yesterday, and today we're going to be doing this one, which is where will everyone go? So where will all the characters head off to? What's going to happen with them? All of these kinds of things. I'm going to attempt to do some predictions and answer, at least in my mind, of where I think, what I think is going to happen, where I think everybody's going to go, and how it's going to go down. So I think one of the most interesting things about the end of Too Far Gone and it's not a cliffhanger because it is resolution, but it opens up a nice new storyline, which is sort of, okay, now that the prison's lost, it's destroyed. The governor's group has been annihilated except for Lily and Tara. They weren't really a part of the group. So the governor's group, in terms of the people that actually followed him in the battle, has been annihilated. All of them are dead, as far as we've seen. And then, of course, Lily and Tara. So that's not a bad place to start. What's going to happen with Lily and Tara? Well, where will they go? With them, I tend to think that they are going to fade from the show. I don't think we'll see them again. I would be very surprised if Rick or the group ran into them at some time in the second half of Season 4. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to fade out of the mainstream, and we won't see them again. Is that a shame? I think it's kind of a shame because I thought they were really interesting characters in the TV series. Now, of course, not every survivor we can see get fully fleshed out. We can see all the different development and details with them. But those two, I think, were really interesting because here came along this guy, the governor, who appeared to be, just a really nice guy, helped them out, get oxygen tanks for their dad, all this kind of stuff, and just be just a really great guy in a zombie apocalypse. And what he turned out to be and how things ended up going, just terrible for them. So I'd like to see them join up with Rick's group or do something like that. I think that would be cool. And they wouldn't have to be enemies or anything because really the governor was the enemy here all around. But unfortunately, do some predictions. I think they're going to fade off the show. I don't think we'll ever see them again. So that's those two. Going on from there, we'll do the most important two, Rick and Carl. So, of course, Rick and Carl, in the comic book series, Here We Remain, they basically go to a house to hold up nearby. They walk there, essentially. Rick's, battered and having trouble breathing and all these things. And he just lost the baby and all this stuff. So emotionally, he just lost Herschel, his zombie apocalypse surrogate father, as I like to refer to him as. So he's lost everything, basically. Aside from Carl, he doesn't know if any of the other members of the group are alive. He doesn't know if Daryl's alive. He doesn't know if anybody else is alive. They didn't really see anybody. So it appears to him as if him and Carl are basically the only ones left, and his only reason left to live is to protect Carl. So, of course, we've seen in the promo that he's passing out inside of a house, which they probably stumbled to, similar to the type of thing in the comic book series. Maybe something close by where Carol would be, or something like that, close to where the prison would be, maybe in the outskirts, that kind of stuff, one of those houses there. So I'm assuming that they're going to follow the same storyline in the books, which is where they go to just any random house to just get their things back together. Rick downs some medicine, passes out for a few days, and then eventually comes back from his coma or his exhaustion that he's going to be at. Because if you think about it, he was dealing with the illness thing before, and that was a huge thing, Carol and all that. And then all of a sudden the governor comes out of nowhere and just breaks down his whole world, kills everybody he knows except for Carl as far as he's concerned at this time. So, that puts them in a really, really interesting place, both Carl and Rick. So I look forward to seeing that cool stuff. But it seems to me, in terms of location, which is the topic of this video, they're going to be going to some random house to just recoup, try to get their shit back together, and figure out what they're going to do from here on out after Rick has healed up somewhat enough so he can at least walk, and the gunshot and all those different things that happened, the choking and the lungs and all that, so he can get it back together so they can kind of figure out what their next move will be from here on out. So I expect to see the same thing in the TV series, and it looks like from the promo that's where they're going with that. So next, Herschel. Well, if there's a zombie apocalypse heaven, Herschel's going there, and the governor, well, if there's a zombie apocalypse hell, he's going to have the deepest part of it. So that's those that's those two. Let's see, the bus. Okay, so the bus was filled with, just the sick and the elderly. We saw them all kind of get on there. Most notably, Glenn was on there. Maybe Judith, but from our interpretation right now, Judith, as far as I see it, is dead. If she's not dead, I think she's on that bus, or with some of the other characters that were around that location. I'm talking about the girls, Lizzie and the others. Maybe Daryl and Maggie and Beth and all of them. Maybe one of them has her, but until further notice, it seems the intention is that Judith is dead. So Glenn and the others that are sick on the bus, where are they going to go? Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. Where would they go? Because Daryl was telling everybody to head south, right? Now, did the driver of the bus get that information? Did he know? Did they have a spot planned out? Not that we know of, so they'll probably just head south and end up wherever they end up. In the promo, I didn't see them meeting up with anybody else. So, for example, Bob and Sasha kind of went after them. I believe they left after them, didn't they? You had Tyrese, so there's another group. We don't know where they're going to go. They'll probably try to find the bus and head south. Daryl was in and around there too. He met up with Beth, didn't he? Who was also with Maggie. So those three at least are together. Tyrese is somewhere, in and around there. So maybe he'll meet up with them, or maybe somehow he'll meet up with the people on the bus, that kind of stuff. And that would be a big portion of the group if they were able to meet up there. But you see in the promo, Glenn is inside some place that's like really, really dark. So we don't know exactly where that's going to be. Is it possible the bus maybe headed south and found a building and they went in, or maybe they went around the back and came back into the prison into a different cell block to hide or something? I don't know, but you tend to think that with all that going on, the rocket launcher from the tank and everything, that they would just get the heck out of there and hit the road, type of thing. So where will they go? I would just think they'd head south and end up wherever they end up. Sasha and Bob probably would follow them, type thing. And then, of course, Daryl, Maggie, and Beth would probably do the same. Tyrese would probably do the same, so hopefully they'll all meet up at some point at the second half of Season 4. Then, of course, there's Michonne. So Michonne was right next to Rick, and even though he was beaten to a pulp and had a bullet in his leg and the whole bit, she just bounced as soon as Carl shows up, and she just takes off. It's like, where's Michonne? I don't know. She's just gone. She's not here. So why is that? Why didn't she stay with Rick and Carl and sort of group with them together? I don't know. Maybe she went to kill off some of the walkers that were coming in, and then she kind of lost track. Maybe she was looking for some of the other governor's men to see if she could kill them or went after them or something. Oh man, that's hard to say. But she, it seems like, is by herself again. I could really see her running into Tyrese. We know that she's not with Rick and Carl because they came up with the whole "Carl, don't look back" thing, right? So she's not anywhere near there as far as we know. Maybe she'll try to head that direction or something, and she'll meet up with Rick and the others fairly soon, which is Rick and Carl, I should say, not the others. Just Rick and Carl, because in the comic book series, that type of thing did happen. She ran into them, and then that group of those three ran into the major group, which was at the farm in the comic book series. So maybe the bus and them, maybe they'll head to Herschel's farm. I don't know. Is that south from the prison? Again, I don't know. But that's definitely something I could see happening since it did occur in the comic book series. So maybe the people on the bus will head there, Michonne will meet up with Rick and the others, and then they'll somehow head back to Herschel's farm, figuring they may have gone there. And or maybe it's something that we didn't know that was pre-discussed by the committee or something, that if they had to leave, they would go back to Herschel's farm to have a place to meet up or something. But we don't know about any of that if that actually did occur. But at least we know that the people on the bus, it seems, and Daryl and Tyrese and Bob and Sasha, they were all in the same vicinity saying we're going to head south. So I think it's safe to assume that they're all going to head south, which may be to Herschel's farm or just some other location there somewhere. Let's see. So there's that, and I think, okay, well, there's also Carol out there somewhere. It'd be interesting if maybe Rick and Carl ran into Carol. That would be interesting to see if she holds a grudge against Rick, to see if, maybe, I don't know, maybe if they could just touch base with her and find her and then join back together, something of the sort. I think it'd be interesting if Tyrese ran into her, or Daryl went to find her, or something like this. So I expect to see her return now, since everybody's split up, and she'll probably be one of the ones to come back in, since she was, split up from them to begin with, and may actually save them. Maybe she's found a place that's fairly safe for a little while that they can stay. This kind of thing. So let's see, or maybe she headed back to Herschel's farm because it is a place that she knows about, and she knows it's safe, and she also might think that maybe one day they would return there. So that's another possibility too. Is it Lizzie? Yeah, Lizzie and the other girls. So they ran. Tyrese is like, we gotta go that way, and they ran the other way. So did he go after them to try to find them? Did he go to help them, or will Michonne run into them? I don't know. Is it possible we'll never see them again? I don't know. I tend to think that we'll see them again. I think it'd be weird if we didn't see them again at all, because there's so much setup for Lizzie possibly being crazy that with like the carved up, what was it, like a rat or something that Tyrese found at the end, near the end of the prison sequence before the governor shot. It's too interesting for them not to come back. So I think they would have to run into somebody. Maybe Carl or Carol will find them, or Tyrese will find them, or something, and they'll head south altogether. I tend to think we'll see them around and they will return. So I think that's pretty much everybody. We are supposed to see Morgan again this season. So could it be that Rick and Carl will head to see Morgan or something like that? That's definitely a possibility, because he is confirmed to be in the season, I believe. So if that's the case, this would be the perfect time to bring him in. Perfect place for Carl and Rick to go if they need some R&R and they have absolutely no supplies, because I think no matter what, Morgan would always help them out if he has the ability to do so. Give them some ammo and some guns and stuff, and give them some food if they really need it. That type of thing. So that's pretty much all of my who will go where predictions and what I think will happen with everybody. I probably missed a few characters because there's so many in the series right now. I touched on Bob and Sasha. I think they're going to follow the bus. I think that's pretty much everybody, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see how many characters fade into the background like Carol has, although I hope she returns, and whether or not Lily and Tara are kept around in the series. I don't think they will be, but I'd like to see it if they decide to go that route. I think that'd be cool to see, how useful they would be and what they could do if they were to join up with Rick's group, which is now not even really a group. It's kind of like a bunch of, small partitions all over the place. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say. Obviously, very excited for the return in February, and this is one people want to see right away, so I'll get it done. And I'll have my channel updates video coming soon, where I'm going to mention all of the different ideas that people have given me. I've got 16 more than just this one and the others I've done, so lots of stuff to talk about. I'll have new videos coming up for the next couple weeks probably. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.